Hello and welcome to Inkscape for Teachers. In this tutorial I'll be showing you how to create this interlocking paver pattern. Not quite as simple as you might think, but I'll show you how we did that. If I move across, first thing I'll do is drag down a guide from the top ruler, horizontal guide. Then with the Bezier pen tool I'm going to click there and whatever angle you like, something like that, click and enter. Then select tool, Control D to duplicate, and I'm going to drag a copy of that so that it finishes on the same horizontal line. Then select both of them, N for the node tool, just drag around those two middle nodes, and we want to join them with a segment there. So that's our key component. Now that I've got that, I don't need the guide anymore. I can drag that off. Select that, Control D, and Control drag down. That one, Control D again, rotate, and let's snap it there. I'll zoom out a bit, and Control D again, snap it there. I don't want it snapping to the bottom one, I want it snapping to that one there. It's important that this section here is twice as long as the individual sections there. Now if I shift click both of those, Control D and drag it across to there, this one should now fit and it snaps into place. Make sure you've got snapping tools turned on up here, snap to paths and cusp nodes. With that all selected, I then go to hit N for the node tool and then drag another marquee to highlight the nodes and click this third icon here to join the nodes and make it one object. I can give it a coloured fill if you like. If you want black and white, just leave it, but let's say I want that colour there. Okay, now I Control D and I can drag there. Look, I might shrink that down, they're pretty big, something like that. Zoom in and Control D and just drag down diagonally, I guess. Control D 4 times. With this one, Control D, I'm going to rotate it around that way. I might give it a slightly different colour. Let's over in the fill and stroke menu under fill, change the luminosity a bit darker if you like, and I'm going to slot it into place. It's not snapping, you can zoom in a bit, and Control D, I'm going to drag a series of those. Normally it'd have the same colour, but I want to point out some patterns, how I create it using this. Maybe one more. Okay, one more there, Control D. Okay, shift click all of these, Control D to duplicate, and we'll put a series, snap them in there. I think that's probably just about enough, but just to be sure, I'll shift click this series of the light ones, Control D to duplicate, and snap them into place there. So you can see we've got a pattern a bit different to this one because of the way I set it up to start with, but they're interlocking. Now after the rectangle tool, I'm going to click on a key point, let's say the start of the left side of this darker pink object, and I'll keep dragging until I get to the next left side there, and then I'm going to go down and to the, oh look, I'll stop there for the moment. You see I haven't got a square. If I repeated that square, you'd have this pink one overlapping this one. It wouldn't quite fit together. So what I'm going to do is drag another row of these ones, shift click those, Control D and snap them into place there. Is that okay? Yep. And look, I might even do this one, Control D, just another one there, maybe that one, Control D, just to give me a bit more room. Now back to this rectangle, click that, shift click, let's make it yellow to stand out, and I'm going to drag it down until it snaps to form a square shape, I think. Where's it coming from? From the top of this pink one here, down to there's the top of the next pink one there. I've got to find corresponding points, it's snapping there. I'll just maybe make that red, shift red, and bring it to the top. Okay, Now you can see that my corresponding points, I've started at the top left of a darker pink paver, gone down to till I've hit the top left of the dark pink paver. Left to right, the same thing. I go across to a corresponding point in the same paver. So that now if you imagine everything in here in a square adjacent to this red square, it would fill in nicely. That would match up, so this would be the little bit there, would match up there, and so on. Okay, with that all done, and make sure this square is on the top, drag a marquee around the lot, go Object, Clip, Set, and while it's still selected, Alt-I to convert that to a pattern. Now, if I want to test it out, you can draw any shape. I'll just use a rectangle. You can draw a circle, ellipse, anything. Click the pattern fill. That's one I did earlier. It's not the coloured one. But under the patterns, the last pattern will be the one that we just created, and there it is. Now, if you didn't want those colours, that pattern, you'd change them before we converted it to a pattern. But once again, if I click on that and then enter the node tool, these control nodes will be here. I like to drag them a bit closer to here, and they actually control where this starts within here. See, if I move the cross, it moves the position of the pattern. Control drag the square to make them smaller or bigger, and drag the circle to rotate around. I'll Control Z. So there's an interesting little exercise on how I created those interlocking patterns. As I say, if you want black and white, you wouldn't colour them in the first place. If you wanted all the same colour, you'd do that earlier on before I converted to a pattern. Anyway, thought I'd record that for posterity. Thanks for watching.